creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome, welcome. It is great to be here for another day of fun. I have got something new to play with today. So super excited about that. Now, before I jump in, let me just bring up this live feed on my other devices so that I can see any comments there when you are all jumping on. So let me just bring this up. Now let's see, where am I going here? Live. We are live. Yes, that's the one. Okay, good. And over here, I always have two devices running because oftentimes one of them will freeze, and usually my computer. Let me just adjust that camera a little bit. And yes, so it's always good to have a backup. So as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know that you're here. And if this is your first time watching, then please let me know where you are watching from. We love to welcome new friends, and it's always fun when you chat with me too. So chat along with me as I create, and we're going to have a little bit of a play today. We're going to have a little bit of a play with the new Paper Florist dies. So I just received these in my order, which came yesterday, and I thought today we would have a little play with those. So yeah, hi Laurie, how are you? Great to have you with me, with us, I should say. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So last week was my birthday, and you probably, if you have been watching my videos, you probably saw me show some cards that I had received, but I did receive a belated birthday card from one of my friends and beautiful team members. So I wanted to share that with you today before we got started. So it's a fun fold card, and it folds flat like this, and we've got the beautiful oh gosh, what is it called now? Oh, where's my catalog? Here's my catalog. I just went blank on the suite, but let me show you. This isn't what we're playing with today, but I just wanted to show you my card. And let me get to my contents page. The Bright and Beautiful suite. But check this out. Ready? Look at that. How cool is that? So it sits up like that. So you have all these little balloons popping up everywhere, which is super cute. And then, yeah, it's got all these different colored panels. So that was created by my friend and team member, Fee Fernandez, if you're looking for Fee. So yeah, so thank you so much for that beautiful card, Fee. I just love it. So lots and lots of fun. I have to learn how to make one of these cards with this fun fold. So it looks like a lot of fun to create. So maybe that will be on another future live video. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it, Laurie? It's a really beautiful card. All right, so a few things are happening today. Today is the 6th of July, 2023. The time is just running away. I don't know where it goes, but it goes somewhere. But there's a few exciting things that are happening today on the 6th of July. Now, we are in the future, because those of you watching from perhaps the United States or some of those other countries, you're still back on the 5th, most likely. We are already into the 6th. We are what some people refer to as the Jetsons, because we live in the future to a lot of you. So here in Australia, we already have the bonus days promotion, which has started today, the 6th of July. Now with bonus days, what it is, it's a promotion where throughout the month, starting from today, the 6th of July, through to the 31st of July, with every $90, that's 90 Australian dollars. So if you were in a different market, it'll be different currency for you. Here in Australia, it's $90. For every $90 that you purchase, you will receive a free coupon for $9. Now that $9 coupon can then be redeemed next month in August. Now the great thing is there's no limit on the number of coupons that you can earn. So for every $90 you'll get another coupon. So you could store up multiple coupons across the month and then redeem them for a free shopping spree next month in August, which is super exciting. So there you go. Now what will happen is you'll place your orders as usual, and then once your order has confirmed and all gone through and everything, you'll get an email sent to you with the coupon code. So you need to save those emails. Don't lose them. Save them. I like to print mine because yeah, it just helps me to remember where they are, because I get so many emails and I worry that they'll get lost. But yeah, either save them or print them, and all of those coupon codes are the codes that you can use on your orders for in August to have that free shopping spree. So isn't that exciting? So yeah, it's lovely when Stampin' Up gives us freebies like this. So it's yeah, it's a really great thing. So definitely jump in on that one. Now, before you go shopping, let me tell you a few things that are current. Now the clearance rack has just refreshed today, and there are some brand new items. Well, not brand new, they're retired items, but they've come back on to the clearance rack. So there's lots of dies and stamp sets, there's paper, embellishments, ribbons, all different sorts of things. And quite a lot of those products that have been added today are from, well, I think all of them are actually, are from the, let me see, July to December, I think it was, mini catalog from last year, from 2023. No, 2022. We're in 2023, from 2022. So there's lots of beautiful new products there. Oh, well, retired products that are there in the clearance rack. They're new for the clearance rack. Now, each market might have different products. So what we have here in Australia might be different to what is in the US or in Canada. But yeah, definitely check that out today. Some great reductions on prices there too. So yeah, definitely check that out. While you're over there as well, be sure to check out the brand new kit that launched today, the Blossom Wishes kit. This one is absolutely gorgeous. There's 2 designs of cards here. This one you can't quite see all of it in the picture, so you'll definitely have to go to the online store to have a look in the kits collection, but you can also find these in the online exclusives, which we're going to talk about in a moment. 2 sized slimline cards. One of them is taller than the other one's a little bit smaller. There's the sizes there. I wrote them down for you. So you get 4 of each of those sizes. It's only a $23 kit, which is awesome. It's a non-stamping kit, so there's no stamping involved. So you can put these together really quickly. It's absolutely stunning. Makes a great gift as well. So if you were looking for a gift for somebody, this is an easy kit to put together for somebody who may be a non-crafter, or somebody that just likes quick and easy projects. There are quite a few elements to it. In saying quick and easy, there are quite a few elements to the kits, but there's no stamping. So if you have crafty friends who perhaps don't like stamping, but they love card making, this is a great kit for them. So there's the code there for the kit. It is I'm trying to read it back to front, 162431. So that's available now. So check that out in the online store. And the other thing is all of the brand new products from the online exclusives have gone up today. So there's lots of new products in the online exclusives. So be sure to check that out. There's a little sneak peek on there of some of them, not of all of them, but of some of them, but really beautiful. And the other thing I discovered this morning, which I didn't know was going up on online exclusives, is scoring blades for our trimmer, which is fantastic. We've been calling out for ages for replacement scoring blades for our trimmer, because they do go dull over time, because we're scoring our cardstock all the time and they do wear down a little bit. And now we can purchase them in a 2-pack. And you'll find those in the online exclusives as well. So I'm definitely putting some of those scoring blades in my next order, because I know that my scoring blade has gone a bit dull on mine as well. So yeah, so that's exciting. Plus there's other products You definitely have to check out the little, oh, what's it called now? The little truck. Now, I took photos this morning, or not photos, I took some screenshots this morning so that I would remember. The Trucking Along bundle. It is so adorable. Be sure to check that out in the online store under online exclusives. So the Trucking Along bundle, there's a stamp set and a coordinating punch. They work together, or you can just use either of them individually as well. Super, super adorable. It's going to be a popular one. So definitely check that out. And then there's also the Timeless Charm bundle. It's really beautiful as well. Both of those are on my wish list. Plus there's a whole heap of other things as well. There's the So Very Merry photopolymer stamp set, which is like a stained glass window. It's like a Christmas themed stamp set. Because we are in July now, so you know you will all start making your Christmas cards pretty soon, I would imagine. And some people celebrate Christmas in July, so yeah, so that's beautiful as well. There's the One Horse Open Sleigh Suite. So there's a stamp set, dies, embellishments, and beautiful designer series paper, which has like scenery on it. So be sure to check that out. That's really beautiful. What else do we have? They were the newest ones, I think. Oh, there's also some ribbon, some real red and gold dotted ribbon. That's really pretty as well. Yeah, so I think they were the newest ones. I think so. Yeah, so definitely check out the online exclusives. Lots of great new things there to discover. So it's an exciting day. And with all those new releases, of course, there's the bonus days promotion as well. So you're going to get the every $90, you'll get a $9 coupon. So that's awesome. All right, let's pop those over there. Now I've got my, well, not mine, but it's the Crafty Collaborations July tutorial bundle available as well right now. One of my projects is in there, but I collaborate with demonstrators from all around the world to put together this tutorial bundle each month. Each month there are different projects in there, and there's different projects using lots of current product. So it's not just focused on just one product, but it gives you lots of ideas with lots of different products, which is awesome. And there's 42 tutorials this month. Now, my customers get this for free when they shop and spend over $75. They get this as their thank you gift. But if you would like to purchase this, it is $28. So if you have your own demonstrator, or perhaps you're a demonstrator yourself, or you are from overseas, I can sell these to people from overseas as well, because it is a PDF tutorial. So yeah, so there's a bundle there with 42 projects for just 28 Australian dollars. So if that is something that you might be interested in, then please get in contact with me either via Messenger or email, and I can get that to you. All right, now if you're in need of catalogs or anything like that, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator already here in Australia and you would like a catalog, then if you have a look in the links in the description of this video, down below the video here in YouTube, and on Facebook, when I upload this to Facebook later, it'll be above the video. You'll see a link there for all of my links actually are there, including a link to request a catalog if you would like the current catalog. Then definitely fill in that form so that I've got your details and I can get one of these catalogs out to you. All right. Oh, hi Athena, how are you? Oh, you're listening to me in the background. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. All righty. Well, you may have seen my video from Monday, and if you did, you will know that I created the beautiful Wreath of Blooms kit, which created this beautiful wreath here. Now, this has inspired me. This is a fully inclusive kit. The only thing you need is your adhesive, which is either a hot glue gun or tacky craft glue for this project, and some scissors as well for the twine. That's it. Everything else is in the kit, but it's just gorgeous. I did have it hanging up on my display board, but I've pulled it down to use it today because it's my inspiration for playing with the brand new paper Florist dies. And there are 2 sheets of dies in here, so we'll get those out in a moment. But we're going to be playing with that today, and my wreath from Monday has inspired a project for today. So I'm creating that along with you and discovering those new dies with you today as well, because I haven't opened them. Well, I opened them to have a look, but I haven't had a play yet. So, all right, now let me get the camera down onto the desk for you, and then we can get started. Okay, so bear with me one moment while I just flip the camera. I'm going to cover up the camera on this side, and then I'll do my transition. I've got to adjust my stand and my lighting, and then we'll get started. All right, here we go. Okay. Just adjust my stand. All right, tighten everything up. And we'll flip the camera. There we go. Okay. Lights, and we'll move the keyboard away because we don't need that right now. Now, if you, I'll just bring this back up on my iPad actually, because I did change screens. There we go. Oh, I've lost it now. There we go. Okay, good. Now I can see comments. So just straighten that camera up a little bit. And I might bring it down a little bit closer, just so you can hear me better. I'll bring it down really close, and then I'll zoom it back out a bit. Whoop. There we go. Okay. All right. Good. Okay, all set up. That's my note to remind me of all the things that I had to tell you. So we've got the new kit, the bonus days, and the clearance rack. I remembered everything. Yay. And I didn't even look at my note. So there you go. Okay. Now, any of the products that I'm showing you today, you can find in my online store. So you can get to it 2 ways. You can get there either through my blog, mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, or you can go to my website, mandywitherby.stampinup.net. If you haven't yet subscribed to my newsletter, then feel free to do that, and you'll find that subscription button, well, here in the description, in the description in my links, but also you'll find it over here on my blog as well. So you can go over there. I'm just going to see if I can just bring that in just a little bit more. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so let's move this up. And do you know what I'm going to do to begin with? Before I actually bring the catalogue in so I can show you this project. I'm going to get my baby wipes out and just give my hands a wipe over. I did put some lotion on my hands before I came downstairs this morning, and I just realized I forgot to wash my hands and I forgot to wash it off, and I can see I'm putting lotion all over the desk, and so I don't want to make my paper all greasy and stain that, so I'm just going to give my hands a little wipe here, and my desk where I've left lotion on my desk. Hands are so dry in the winter. Do you get dry hands in the winter as well? It's been very cold here, and yeah, the air is very dry, so my hands dry out. Okay, we are all ready to go. All right, so let me show you where you're going to find these dies. Oh, got a hair there. My shirt. There we go. All right, so in your annual catalogue, oops, let's put that back down there. In your annual catalogue, over on page 165, is where you're going to find the paper Florist dies. Now these are a standalone die. They don't coordinate with any stamp set, so they are standalone, but you can use them with lots of other stamp sets. So yeah, they're really beautiful. So many dies in this set. There's 18 dies. They do fit through the mini machine, so we're going to be using the mini today. So let's have a look at those up close. That's where you can find them, or in my online store. Okay, so here's the dies, the paper florist dies. The code, if you're looking for the code for them, it's 161284. 161284. And let's have a look at these dies. So there are the 2 sheets. Here they all are here. And you can just make so many different types of flowers with these, coordinating them together and doing a bit of shaping and all sorts of things. So we'll have a little play with those today and see what we can create. I do have an idea in mind, so we shall see how, yeah, we'll see if it might go in a completely different direction. Who knows? Does anybody else have these dies yet? Have you played with these? Let me know in the comments if you have. And let me know if you're creating along with me today as well. It's always fun when our friends create along as well. Now, one thing I wanted to show before we get on to those dies is with the Wreath of Blooms kit that I used on Monday and created this beautiful wreath here. There are leftover pieces. So we had these sheets of leftover pieces, and there was another one too. Oh, where's the other one? Oh, there it is. There's another sheet as well of leftover pieces. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to use these as masks or templates and have a little play with these and see what I can create. So I started off just with the small ones and thought, you know, this is a great way of creating nice backgrounds and things like that. So I had a little play with these 2 here, and this is what I came up with. So first of all, I did this one here, which I thought just made a really awesome background. So I just wanted to show you another way of using your die pieces. So these are left over, and we get lots of these punch out shapes in our dies, even just in our kits, I should say, even labels and things like that. So I thought, well, that makes a really great background. Now you can use other dies, other solid shaped dies from some of our other die sets to do a similar sort of thing. Create your own pattern using the dies, create your own mask, and then use them as a background. So how cool is that? And then I use this little one. So this is Azure Afternoon that I've used on white. And then this is Azure Afternoon on Azure Afternoon cardstock using this little one here. So yeah, how cool are they? So I just wanted to show you some additional things that you can do using your kit pieces. So don't throw away all those leftover bits. Now, if you love this kit, this is the code here for this one, the Wreath of Blooms kit. It's a $23 kit as well. It doesn't cost very much at all. And it's 162362. And if you missed my video on Monday, then feel free, it'll be the one right before this. So feel free to go back and watch that. It was filmed on Facebook and then uploaded to YouTube, so it will just be under videos. So yeah, so there you go. So I thought I'd just mention that to you as well. Okay, now I'm going to leave my wreath nearby as inspiration. Okay, and we've got some colors here. So these are some of the colors that are in the wreath. The green one is Pear Pizzazz, which is now retired, and also to the yellow was So Saffron, which is also retired. So I've just swapped those 2 colors out with the Granny Apple Green and the Daffodil Delight, but I've picked out all the other colors that are in this wreath, and I thought we might use those colors today. Okay. All right, now I've just realized I didn't set my phone on Do Not Disturb. So let's see if I can do it here. Do not disturb. There we go. I'll put it here on my iPad and that should sync to all of my devices. I totally forgot to do that today. I always like to do that before I go live so that I don't get any interruptions. All right. Okay, so let's cut some of these out of some of these pieces. We're going to use our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now I think we'll start with these large ones here in the petal pink. So let's bring in our mini. I'll move our dies over there. I'll move our other colors out of the way at the moment. We'll bring in our mini. So this is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it comes with all of the plates that you need to get started, including the embossing plates as well. There's two different size of embossing plates, or two different depths of embossing plates, because we've got two different types of embossing folders. We've got the regular embossing folders and the 3D embossing folders. So depending on which one you're using will determine which extra plate you'd need. But today we are starting off with some die cutting. So we're just using our base plate number 1, our cutting plate number 2 on the bottom, and another cutting plate number 2 for the top. You can see mine are very well loved, very well used. Now I will be putting these onto magnetic sheets, but of course I only received them yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to do that just yet, but I will get to that. I'm going to, actually let's just use these big scissors because they're right there. Just going to cut that cardstock. All right, we'll run those through. Now you can use these to do all different sorts of flowers. Really you are only limited by your imagination. So I've seen a few different things done with some of these dies. I haven't seen all of them in action yet, only some of them. But I'm really loving what I am seeing, and I can't wait to discover how to use them all. All right, so that's 3. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we need quite a few. We might need to get out some more cardstock, I think, too. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, the big flower that is on the wreath, the large wreath from the Wreath of Blooms kit, it has, what did I just say, about 10 petals or something. Is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's another one, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's got 10 small ones and then 5 larger ones. So I'm not sure how many we're going to need today. So we'll just cut a whole heap of these. I'll get some more petal pink cardstock out. When you're cutting these small pieces, it's a great opportunity to use up some of your scraps. I always keep all of my scraps. I keep them with each of my colors of cardstock in, oh yep, that's a good one, in little bags. So I keep all the colors separate, and then I love to just pull them out for small die cut pieces. So they come in really, really handy. I don't know why I'm using these scissors today. I had these out for something else. And they're just right there. They're just right there. So we'll just use them. Okay, so we'll run this through again. Whoops. So feel free to chat along with me. Let me know what you're doing in your day today, or your evening if you're at the other end of the clock. I know that Athena is working right now. She has me playing in the background. So it's lovely that Athena has been able to join us today. All right, so how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we need some more. Let's get some more of that scrap cardstock. Will I fit 3? Yeah, I'll fit 3 out of that. Look at this. I'm using up all of these scrappy bits, which is awesome. These actually, do you know what these remind me of?
when you look at them like that, they look like the top of a ring pull, like on a can, either on a can of drink or on, I don't know, a tin of pineapple or something. That's what they remind me of when you see the dies like that. I just thought of that. Okay, here we go.
Sorry, this is bumping the desk quite a bit, so it's probably bumping the camera a little as well, but that can't be helped when we're using the mini on the same desk.
All right, how many have we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's do 3 more, and then we'll have the same number as the big flower on the big wreath. And then if we don't use them all, that's okay. Oops. Is that going to fit? I don't think that one's wide enough. No, that one's not wide enough. Okay. Have this one. No, we won't get 3 out of that either. We only get 2 out of that one. We need 3. 3 more.
See if I've got enough scrap in here.
Probably not to get 3, so I might do 2 and then 1 more. When you're using your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, whether or not it's the small one or the large one, try to use different parts of the plates so that you're not wearing the same spot of the plate each time. Oh, I don't have my plate staggered. That's why it's not going through. And when you're putting your plates through, have that middle plate just sitting back from the edge a little bit, and then you can have these, the bottom base plate and the top cutting plate lined up. It just helps to feed it through the machine, because otherwise you've got all of the bulk in one spot, and it's hard for the rollers to grab the plates. If you just stagger the plates just slightly, they will feed through no problem. There we go. Those 2, and we need 1 more. Let's get another scrap and we'll do 1 more. Can I fit one on that one? Oh, not quite. Trying to be very thrifty here, using up all these scraps. And I just noticed that fell down. There we go, let's use that one. Oh, I just found I have got a little scrap over to my right. Just found that over there. I must have chucked that over there as we were die cutting these. Okay. Here we go. Now these petals of this particular flower, they die cut out with a little slit there so that we can do a little bit of shaping. So I'll show you how to do that. I've seen how that is done. And it reminds me of the old paper flowers that I used to make a long time ago, back in the day, that I used to make with punch art. I used to do a lot of punch art many years ago, probably about 15-20 years ago, and we used to use a lot of we used to make a lot of paper flowers and things. So okay, so we've got that one. Now we need we've also got a small one in the Calypso Coral as well, in a similar shape. Now let's just see, what do we have? We might use these ones, I think. Different type of flower, but we'll try and use these ones if I can get them off the sheet. Just be careful when you're removing your dies from the sheets that they come on, because the tape that holds them in place is very sticky. So you have to be careful as you remove them so that you don't damage your plates. You don't damage your dies, sorry. So we're going to use Calypso Coral. I'm going to get a larger piece so that I can cut all 4 at once. And I love that all 4 of these dies are together on the one die, so you can just put them through in one pass and get 4 flowers. And I love with this one that you had 3 at one time. Makes it a lot quicker. So let's grab some more Calypso Coral. Again, I'll pull out my scraps and we'll use up some of those. Now let's see, what is the width that I need? Oh, that one will be perfect. I'll get a couple out of that. I'll use my big Teflon scissors again. Let's cut a few so that we've got them ready to go. There we go. All right, so we'll put that one through. Now we've got space on our plate for some other colors, so how about we do some other dies at the same time? I want to get, so there's this little center here, so I want that one. And was there another one that was similar to that? This one, I think. So I might do both of those in some Night of Navy. They're sort of your flower centers. Get that one off the die. We'll do some of those in Night of Navy, and I've got some Night of Navy scrap here, so I can cut a couple of those. And then we'll do all of those together. There we go, line them up on my plates. Now my plates are, as I said, they're well loved, well used. They're chopped up a little bit, so they're a little bit bowed. They do bow over time. It's a good idea to flip your plates as you're using them. In fact, I'll flip this one back over, but my bottom plate is the most bowed one. But you can buy replacement plates for them, depending on how often or how much die cutting you're doing. Oops. Don't have that one pushed back. Hang on, I lost that. Haven't got my washi tape today to hold everything on. Yeah, so depending on how much you're die cutting as to how long your plates are going to last for you before they start to bow. But you can still use them when they're bowed. It just means things slide around like this. Once they get too bowed though, it is a good idea to replace them just so that they don't damage the rollers in your machine. Mine's almost at the point where it needs replacing. And I did actually pull out a brand new set of, oh, I don't think it's a full, oh, it is a set actually, a brand new set of plates in case I needed to replace it today while we were filming. All right, now be careful with those little dies. We don't want to lose those. Okay, so look at these. We've got 2 different sizes in that die. We've got 2 large ones and 2 small ones. So we might cut 1 more of each of those. And then these 2 are our little centers. Okay, so let's do another lot of those. And do those ones. And I want to use one of the centers, this one, I want to do that in Daffodil Delight. We also do have these little centers too. So you've got these little centers here, and then you've also got these tiny little flowers here, which you could also use as centers in your flowers. So I might die cut a few different ones, and then we can decide which one we like. I might do these ones as well. So we'll just cut a whole heap out of our Daffodil Delight. We fit that on there? Yes. Good. Okay. See how many of these dies we can fit on. Oh, actually, we might only fit those 2. Yeah, we'll only fit those 2. That's okay. We can get some more cardstock and do some more. All right, let's add our top clear plate. I'm working almost off camera. Let's bring that back over again. There we go. So just die cut lots and lots of flowers. So I just unpacked this order very late last night. So I didn't actually have time to get any of these things ready ahead of time. But that's okay. We can create together today. All right, let's see. What else do we want? We might do one more of each of those. One more of each of those, and we were going to do some of these little teeny tiny ones. I might do those in well, let's see. Yeah, I'll get some more of the Daffodil Delight. Okay, so I've got this piece here of Daffodil Delight, so we'll just cut a little, whoops, just cut a little piece out of that. We'll die cut those little teeny tiny ones. Oh, I haven't got my plates lined up properly. Helps if you have your plates lined up properly. There we go. You just want that middle plate sitting back a little bit further than the top and the bottom plate. And then it goes through no problems. Oh, Athena says she has these dies and she can't wait to play with them. She hasn't played with hers yet either. Yeah, they're so beautiful. Just got to watch all these little dies that I don't accidentally throw them in the bin. Okay, so there we go. We've got those ones. And these little teeny tiny flowers, look how little they are. They are teeny tiny little flowers or little flower centers, so they'll be really handy. Okay, so let's put these ones back on the die sheet. I think we probably have enough of those ones. And we'll do some leaves. Now, there are so many different pieces in this die set that you can mix and match and make all different sorts of shaped flowers. So yeah, it's just, as I said before, your imagination is all you are limited by because there's just so many beautiful pieces. All right, we're going to do this one. And we want some larger leaves as well. So we'll probably do this one. Well, this one, I think. I think we'll do this one. We've got some little flowers. And we've also got this one here too. So this one here too is like a little perforated, strip, I suppose. And it makes you roll it. You die cut it and then you roll it to make this type of flower. Only obviously it'll be much smaller, but this is a similar sort of thing. So we'll do that one as well. So we want that one. And then we need some little, which ones will we use? We need some little flowers. These ones might be too big. I'm just deciding which ones. We could use these ones perhaps in the yellow. Which ones will I use for the yellow? I'll try these ones. They might be too big, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. Let's take those ones off very gently. There we go. Okay. All right, so we've got our centers and now we're going to do some leaves. So we're going to do some, this is garden green, so we're going to do some of these leaves in garden green. So we get 2 out of that. And then we're going to do these other leaves, where did they go? Here, out of Granny Apple Green. So we'll have a couple of those as well. Let's just cut a strip, hey? Some of those. Then we're going to have some of these flowers in the Daffodil Delight. So we'll cut some of those. Let's see if we can fit all of these on the die sheet together. I mean on the cutting plates together, I should say. There we go. And I wonder if we could fit this one on as well at the same time. Maybe not. I'm not going to fit that one as well. That's okay. We'll do that one. Okay, line those back up. They're all falling off because my plate is bowed. If I had a little bit of washi tape right here, actually, let me grab some. Got some little bits of washi tape here, so I might just use some of this to hold my dies in place so they don't move around too much. So anybody else here love to make paper flowers? I've actually got some other ideas with these dies as well, because I have been waiting for something to come out that I can make my own paper flowers with. And so I've got some other ideas with these, but I'm saving those ideas for another project, not for today's project. Oh, hey, Vicky, how are you? Watching all the way from Arizona. Thank you for joining us. Okay. There we go. Do you have these dies yet, Vicky? These are the Paper Florist dies. And this is my first time playing with them. I only just got them in my order yesterday and just opened my order very late last night. And we're using the Wreath of Blooms kit as inspiration for today's project. So here we go. We're just compiling all of our little pieces here. There's our little flowers. It's those ones. In fact, maybe the little ones might be good. Might need a few of those little ones. There we go. Good thing I've got my paper recycling bin right below me, because there's lots of scraps today. All right, so we want another one of these leaves. In fact, I'm wondering if we're going to need more. But we'll just do another one for now. There we go. So we'll add that there and put a bit of washi there, hold that on there. We'll do another lot of these, I think. Put some washi on. Oh, that bit of washi is no good. We'll put that one in the bin. So years ago, as I was saying, I used to make a lot of paper flowers using punches, and the punches that we do have now do make beautiful flowers. We've got some really lovely punches. What's the one? Oh, what's it called? Petal Park Builder Punch. That makes beautiful flowers. Actually, that strip is now not quite long enough. I'll have to get some more. I just realised I don't have many scraps of my Daffodil Delight. Oh, there we go. That one is long enough. So that's good. Yes, and I had a friend many years ago who showed me how to make beautiful flowers using punches and a bit of additional sort of shaping and things like that. And yeah, and that's always kind of stuck with me. So I've been wanting to, and I've always loved paper flowers. And so I was so excited when I saw that these new dies came out, because I thought, oh, awesome, now I can make my own. Oh, you've never seen these dies before, Vicky. Oh, there you go, something new for you. So these are the Paper Florist dies. They're in the current 2023 to 2024 annual catalogue, or in the online store. They're a standalone die set, so they don't coordinate with any particular stamp set, but they are stunning. And you piece all of these little flowers together, or I guess you could use them individually if you wanted to, but they are designed to piece together to make different types of flowers. There we go. Oh, we've got one more hiding in there. There we go. Okay. Now this one. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. This one creates a strip like that. And I'll show you how to create that flower in a moment. We might do, I wonder if we're going to need a second one of those. We might just get some, I'm just going to cut a little bit of this Daffodil Delight paper down. There we go. Okay. Now let's see. Yeah, I'll just make another one of these. Actually, will that go across the top? I wonder what the width, oh, it will, look at that. So this cardstock is 10.5 centimeters wide. So that die is just shorter than that, which is perfect. All right, I'll do another one of those. And then, what else do we need for our project? Oh, we need some more of these little leaves. So let's cut some more of these leaves. We need some more of those ones. Yep. Okay, so we'll washi tape that down. And then I think once we do those ones, we'll create some of our flowers and we'll see what we come up with. There we go. All right, so we've got another one of these ones. So we, just in case, I did a second one, just in case I need to attach one to the end and make a larger flower, because you can make them different sizes. And these leaves, I think we're going to need 4 of those ones. Do we have other leaves? Do we have? We have the oak leaves as well, which are really lovely. The oak leaves could work as well. We could cut some oak leaves and then we can make a decision. We can decide which ones we like. All right, so we've got some more Granny Apple Green here. I'll add this one back this way. There we go. And let's do some oak leaves. There's some little like oh, see, this tape is so, that's why I like putting my dies onto magnetic sheets, because this tape that comes on this paper that they come on is great. It's nice and strong, but when you're trying to get the dies on and off all the time, it's it can be a little bit tricky. So when I finish filming today, I definitely will be putting these dies on magnetic sheets. All right, so we'll do that one. Now what else? Let's see what else we have here. I would like to see what this one comes out like. So let's do that one as well. Does that fit on there? Just if I washi tape, oh no, I think it's a bit narrow. That's okay. Let's put it on that piece. go. All right. So let's try this one. Now, if I had have had time, I would have die cut all of these ahead of time and had them all done. But of course I didn't have, because I only unpacked my order very late last night. Oh, that's a cute little oak leaf. Look at that one. That's really cute. We might even end up using that one. So let's leave that one there. Put some of these other dies back here on here. So we don't want to lose those. It's another one of those leaves. Put those two together. Actually, let's move these ones. These are 3 different types of leaves. Oh, this one's sort of come out a little bit like almost like a sun. That one. So just remove all of those little pieces. When you're die cutting, if you get any of those little off-cut bits or the cutout pieces from your dies, make sure that you remove those before you run your plates back through again, because they can affect your next die cut piece, and they can mark them, and yeah, so you kind of don't want that. Okay. Those little pieces out. Let's do a couple more leaves. So how many have we got? 2, 3. We'll do one more of that, and we'll do another oak leaf as well. So let's do an oak leaf and one of those. And then I think that should hopefully be all of our pieces that we need for this project. Just wondering if I might need some of the darker green, some more of the darker green leaves, because I might not have quite enough. They might be a little bit short for what I need. Okay. No idea how these were placed on here, because now I don't have anywhere to put this one. Where did this one come from? Can't remember now where this one was. Move this one. Oh no, there's only room for one there. I'll move that one down and put it there. So long as it's stuck there, I don't mind where it sits, as long as I don't lose it. Okay, there's those ones. Okay, last thing, we are just going to die cut another one each of these. So we need the garden green. Get out some more scraps. Garden green. Will I fit 2 on here? Oh no, I'm only going to fit 1 on there, aren't I? That's okay. That's okay. Plenty more scraps where that one came from. Now, I have a little bit of an interesting story. Back many, many years ago, my mother-in-law actually used to make paper flowers made from crepe paper. And she used to hand make them, and she would make beautiful bouquets with them. And sell them. And they, back in the day, they used to be, now I don't know how many years ago that would have been, probably when she was younger, or when her children were younger, you know, my husband and his siblings. I'll just get some more of that garden green. Anyway, she used to sell them, and she even used to make bridal bouquets from them. And they used to be very popular, apparently. So yeah, so there you go. So there's a bit of, and when she moved out of their family home into the retirement village a few years ago, she still had some of the original crepe paper. And she used to make it up into little, oh, what did she used to call it? Oh, look, that would be cute as a little centerpiece on a project. She used to call them little worm grubs, little grubs. So she'd roll them, she'd roll the crepe paper and really, really tightly and make like big long sausages. And then she'd scrunch them in, and then she cut the paper somehow to make these beautiful flowers. I have no idea. I don't know that she ever showed me. Yeah, I don't know that she ever showed me how to do them, but she kind of explained it to me a couple of times. But yeah, it was really, really interesting. Oh, Amber just said, is there a die in the set that could replicate the little white flower on the wreath? Oh, this one here. Yes, that's what I was looking for. I did yellow ones instead of the white, but I probably should do some of those in white. Because I don't think there's any other dies that shape. However, we do have punches. Could I incorporate punches as well, do you think? Because I don't think there's any die that actually replicates. I thought this one might, but it kind of comes out looking more like a, yeah, it's more like a sun to me. It's not kind of the shape that I wanted with those nice petals. That's why I was thinking maybe these ones and overlay these ones, but I think I cut them in the wrong color. Well, these ones might work. Maybe I'll do these ones. I could do these ones in green stems, and then these little bits could be the white. What if we do a couple of those? Let's try that. All right, so we want the same green. So we'll do granny apple green stems, and then we'll do the white tops. I think we'll just need one of those. Granny apple green. Did I run out of granny apple green? I did. Oh, let's get some more of that. I'll just cut some of the granny apple green. There we go. Okay. So I had nearly run out of granny apple green scraps as well. I've only got some really skinny little granny apple green scraps. So granny apple green must be a well-used colour in my craft room. So do you have a favourite green? A favourite colour green that is current? Let me know which is your favourite green to use currently. Our favourite was Pear Pizzazz, and Pear Pizzazz has now retired, and so Granny Apple Green is the one I've been using to replace it, although it is brighter than what Pear Pizzazz was. Pear Pizzazz was like a much softer sort of green. So what is everybody else's go-to green colour? Oh, I just saw your comment, Amber. What about the tulip sprig? Yes, that's the one I just chose. And you know what? I think it's going to be the one, because they're going to be really cute. Oh, look, they're going to be adorable. So that's the stem, and then these are the little flowers that will pop on the top. And then we can do a little bit of daubering of colour on those too. Yes, I think they will be the ones rather than these yellow ones. Might put these ones over to the side. I don't think I'll use those ones today. We'll see. We might add them. We'll see. We can change it up. All right. I think we are ready to start piecing together some flowers finally. all that die cutting, it does take a little bit of time. This would be a great project to do sitting down in front of the TV or something like that at night. Just sit there and die cut all of your flowers, ready for your projects. Okay, so let's get all of these little scraps put away, out of the way. There we go. Oh, now we also, there is something else that we need. But we'll make the flowers first, I think, and we'll come back to the other thing. We need the actual wreath itself. All right, so let's see. We have used these ones, this one, this one, this one, these ones, each of these, this one, this one. This one I die cut, but we probably won't use. We've used this one, and these ones. So we've die cut almost all of them. The only ones we didn't use, I think, were these flowers here and that center. Everything else I think we've pretty much used. So there you go. So now you can see at least all of the shapes. So here they all are here. Now we're going to do a little bit of shaping. So I'm going to get my shaping. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Now I have a specific mat for piercing and shaping, because I do find if you are piercing and shaping, it can dent the mat a little bit. So I have a separate mat just for stamping so that I don't get any of these imprints or dents in my stamping. So I get a nicer, smoother stamped image. So this is the one that I use just for shaping. Now also too, we're going to be doing a little bit of gluing. So I'm going to bring in a silicone craft sheet. Is this which is the cleaner one? I've got two here. One is more clean, this one. I think both of them need a really good clean, but anyway, that's okay. All right. Some tools. So we've got our take a pick tool, and I'm going to get out from my beautiful handy dandy little box that a friend of mine made for me. I'm going to get my shaping tool out because we're going to do a little bit of shaping. So that's our stylus shaping tool. And I'm going to replace my pokey tool with my large stylus tool. So we just slide that out, turn that to clip that into place. Okay, so we have that. With glue, we need some glue. Now, the best glue to use when you're doing flowers is the multi-purpose liquid glue. Okay, let me just have a little sip of my juice. Okay. Oh, now the other thing we're going to do before we put together any of these flowers is to do a little bit of inking on them with some sponge daubers. So I have got Lemon Lolly, Calypso Coral, and Cajun Craze. The green leaves are going to be left as is, and it's just the petals of the flowers that are going to have a little bit of inking on them. So I'll grab my daubers for those three colours. So let's see, yellow, that's daffodil, that's lemon lolly, Calypso Coral will be here somewhere. There we go. I've got these all in colour order. Cajun, hang on, Cajun's going to be up here somewhere. Oh, there it is, Cajun. Okay. So I have two of these containers, which I just got, I just found these online. I've got one for my warm colours and one for my cool colours. And I have a different sponge dauber for every colour so that I don't interchange them. All right, so let's do a little bit of inking first. I'll move this aside for the moment and I'll just bring in some grid paper to do a little bit of daubering. I might do the little yellow petals first. And these little yellow, well, they're white at the moment, but I'm going to add a touch of the lemon lolly to them. And these ones are only really tiny, so we're just going to add, I'll probably just do it on the tips, I think. Just a little bit of lemon lolly just on the tips of the flowers. Oops. Make sure you've got them up the right way. If you need to hold them with tweezers, you could hold them with tweezers. There we go. So that's those. That's all we need to add to those ones. Just adding a little touch of colour. Just like in the big wreath here, these ones here have just got a little touch of colour just on the tips of the petals. So that's what I'm replicating with these ones. Okay, so that's Lemon Lolly. And then we've got the, let's go with the Calypso Coral. So the Calypso Coral is going to be these ones. Actually, I'm going to do that one next, because, last, because that will take a bit more time. We'll do the Cajun. Cajun Craze is going to be, let's move those on these petals here. And I'm not sure which ones we're going to use yet, so I'm just going to do all of these. And we're just adding a little bit, just to add a little bit of extra colour to these petals, because you know most flowers, they have different shades on their petals, and often too, you know, there's a bit of shading on, like it could be a little bit of shadow on them and things like that in the garden. So just adding a little bit of interest to each of those flowers. So this is just an added step. You don't have to do this. You could use them just as they are, but I just wanted to add a little bit of colour. Like if I show you the two together side by side, you can see the difference there. This one's got the ink, this one hasn't. So see how just adds a little bit of colour to them. I wonder if it'd be quicker if I did it down on the, I actually think I prefer the effect of the inking when I'm holding them up. It does make a difference if you're doing them flat or if you are holding them and just doing it more on the edge. You get a different effect. Have a little play anyway and see how you prefer to do it and how the look that you prefer. So you might get a little bit inky on your fingers doing this. So I always like to have my baby wipes handy, or you can have a damp cloth handy if you're not near the sink and you can't, you know, go and wash your hands. Of course, when I'm filming, I can't do that. So I just like to have my baby wipes because that's nice and handy. Okay. So has anybody else made the Wreath of Blooms kit? Let me know if you have. And did you do your Wreath of Blooms kit exactly as the instructions said, or did you change it up? I've seen some really beautiful alternate wreaths done with that kit that look beautiful. Some people have even created frames, beautiful home decor, like, you know, it is a home decor piece, and some people have just changed it up and made it into like a framed piece, which is really beautiful. Some people have used the flowers, instead of making a wreath, they've used them on cards. Yeah, so this is kind of a smaller version, and this time we're making a card. And this card, hopefully, if it turns out as I envisage it in my mind, would be really beautiful to give with that wreath as a gift. So you could give the card, write your little message on the card. Perhaps it could be a birthday card or a, you know, just I'm thinking of you card to just give with a little gift. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more ink to some of these. Definitely prefer the look of inking them this way than inking them down flat on the paper. But if it's easier for you to do them down flat on the paper, then you just do whatever is easier for you. And if you don't like getting ink on your fingers, you could wear rubber gloves to do this too. There we go. So there's all of those ones. So that was Cajun Craze on Calypso Coral cardstock. Okay, so that's how they look now. So I think they look really great. All right, let's make a stack of those over there. And now we'll bring in all of the petal pink petals, and we're going to use Calypso Coral on those ones. Oops. Oh, those two decided to go underneath the paper instead of on top of. Okay. So we're just going to add some ink just around. Well, that one was a little bit heavy. Don't want this being too heavy, that's better. So with the Calypso Coral, because it is a deeper colour and it's quite a bit deeper than the Petal Pink, you might not need to re-ink your dauber as much. There's lots of ink in this dauber. As you can see, I'm not having to really re-ink it very much at all. I'm getting lots of petals just out of the one loaded dauber. I just add a little bit now. When you load it up, just dab it off a little bit on your scrap paper first so that the ink isn't too dark. I'm not adding it all the way down or all the way around. I'm just adding it to those tips of those petals. I love sponge daubering. It's one of my favorite techniques. If you've watched many of my videos, you probably would have seen me use that technique quite a bit. It is my favorite technique. So I always have a spare pack of daubers on hand because, you know, over time they do wear out when you're rubbing them against the edge of cardstock. Of course, they're only foam, so they do break down over time. I don't replace them very often, but every so often I'll need to replace one or two. So what's your favorite technique? Let me know in the comments. What's the favorite technique that you have? Do you have one that you use more often on most of your projects? Or do you like to keep your projects just very clean and simple? And that's okay too. All right, so there we go. So that is all the inking we're going to do. So now you can see quite a difference in the petals there. Okay, so let's put that aside and we'll bring back in our Stampin' Pierce mat and we'll start putting together some of these flowers. All right, so I'm going to do the little tulip first. Now with the tulip, you've got one larger, oh, these ones are a little bit fiddly to pick up, one larger petal and two of the smaller petals. And before I do that, I'm just going to see how they're going to adhere. Okay, so they're going to adhere behind like that, because if you put them on top, then you won't see that greenery and the detail of the greenery. That's the greenery that sits around the bulb of the tulip. So the glue is actually going to go on the back of the stem. And we're going to attach it like that. Okay, then we can just line that up. Oops. The good thing with the multi-purpose liquid glue as well is that you can wiggle those pieces around to get them in place. So we don't want too much glue on there because we don't want, I'm actually going to flip this over upside down this time. Do it this way. Upside down. Yeah, you don't want too much glue because you don't want it oozing. Okay, and then we'll flip that over. Oh, look at that. How cute is that? So adorable. And that ink, that little touch of lemon lolly ink on there is just perfect. Beautiful. All right, let's put our flowers over here on some paper to dry. Okay, so with these ones, we are going to shape, we're going to do some shaping on these ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape each of my petals with my bone folder. It's like curling ribbon. You know when you curl curling ribbon with some scissors? We're going to do that with our bone folder. So we just put the petal on the bone folder, put your thumb on the top of the petal, and you're kind of flicking your bone folder. So just give each petal a little bit of shape. Oops, did I do that one? Not sure. There we go. We'll do it again just to be sure. So we're going to shape this way to begin with. So we're shaping them downwards. And then when we get to the center, we're going to shape the center in the opposite direction, and that will make those petals sit up. I got a little bit of shape in them when I was daubering actually over the edge of my finger. That did cause them to shape a little bit, but this just shapes them a bit more. Okay. All right, I'll show you how to put these ones together. Okay, I'll just move that to the side. So we're going to stagger. Now this one has, so the one on the large wreath, it uses the same size petals, and it just is a 4-petaled flower, but it has two lots of petals. So there's a couple of different ways you can do these ones. You can do it like that, and just so that can be similar to the one on the wreath, which is probably what we're going to do. You can then add, so what we're doing is we're just staggering those petals, okay, so laying them offset like that. And then if you wanted to, you could add the smaller one as well, and you could add a couple of layers of those. Okay, so that's one way you could do it, depending on how big you want your flower. So you can have them, you can have a small one like that, or a large one like that. Oops. Okay, or you can do a large one and then a small one like that, or you can do 4 of the large petals and 4 of the small petals. Now I know that I've made a lot there, but I think I'm probably just going to go with this one here and then put a little center in the middle like that. There is also this center here, which is quite big, which we could use as well. We only die cut one of those, and I wanted one of those for the big ones as well. But we'll do this first. So what we're going to do is we are going to, oh actually I'll use my shaping tool first. We'll glue these together, these 2 layers. So I'll just put a little bit of glue in the center of this one. Then we're going to stagger the petals and add this one on the top. Okay, then I'm going to do some shaping. So I'm going to take my stylus tool. So you can take your stylus tool, or you can take the end of your putty tip. So you can use the lid and you can push that down like that to make those petals pop up, or you can use the stylus and go round and round and round, and you'll get the same effect. I'm going to make a small flower as well, just in case this big one ends up being too big. We'll do one of each. There we go. You can also use the stylus to hold them together while that glue sets. Give that a little push and a little roundy, roundy, round. Whoops, except I didn't wait for the glue to dry before I did that. So I'll just fix that up. Yes, it's a good idea to wait for the glue to dry before you do too much shaping. All right, and now I'm just going to use the stylus to shape the center. I'll do it on this one as well, actually. Move these up. So we'll do that on this one. So just pushing around the edges there and then just using circular motions. And can you see, it's a bit hard to tell on the darker colors, but if I hold that up, you might be able to see that now it's got some shape to it. You see that, how that's sort of popping up like that? Okay, and this one is as well. I did the same on that one. All right, we might make a couple more of those just so we've got some spares in case we need them. So we'll do another large one. There we go, so staggering those petals. Just holding that down for a moment. Oh, I did an odd one. There you go. Yep, I have an odd one of both sizes. That's okay. We'll make another small one. Stagger those petals. Hold that there for a moment. Vicky says, I remember years ago we punched out flowers and used brads in the centers to hold them together. Yep, that's exactly right. And guess what I've got here? I've got brads right here ready to use, Vicky, so you are on the right wavelength. I just like to glue mine first before I put the brads through because I do find that they can twist a little bit and then become, the petals can become sort of separated and not sit how I want them to sit. So I like to glue mine first, but yes, you are ahead of me. You're on the same wavelength. There we go. All right, so now we've got 2 small and 2 large. And we've got the different centers. In fact, you know, let's use our putty tip and have a look what these other centers would look like in the flowers. I'll just sit them on there and you can see the different looks that you can get. Now you can shape these ones as well. So I haven't shaped any of these centers yet, but this will just give you a bit of an idea of the different types of flowers that you can make. Okay, so you could make them like that too, and they would look super cute. Whoops, look at that. They would be so adorable. Don't they look adorable? And let's swap these ones out with some of these little mini flowers and have a look and see what they would look like. Oh, they look cute too. Look at that. I actually like that. I actually like those ones. And if you took these large ones out and replaced them with the smaller centers. Oh, I like the smaller centers in there actually. I like that better than the larger ones. What do you think? Aren't they cute? Really cute little flowers. So we could actually use that because yeah, because I was thinking of using the blue in the middle, but I might save the blue for the large flower and we might use these ones. Deciding which one I like. I like that size better than the larger size. So yeah, I just need to decide. I think I like this one with the stitching. So let's adhere those. Actually, let's shape them a little bit first so that because we've shaped the flower, so we want these to sit nicely. We want them to concave a little bit so that they sit nicely. Oh, that one shapes beautifully. So they sit easily in the flower there. All right, so let's pop a little bit of glue in the center of the flower here for our little flower center. There we go. And we'll use our putty end of our take your pick tool to pick up those little flower centers. I'm glad I die cut those. There we go. And we'll use our stylus end just to hold those in place for a moment while the glue just dries a little bit and catches on those. Oh, got glue oozing through the little holes in the flower center. That's okay, that'll dry clear. Whoops. There we go, we'll hold that there for a moment. And because I'm already making the flowers, I may as well continue with these two little ones as well and use those little tiny, whoops, those little tiny centers. I'm getting sticky fingers now with all the glue. So we only want a tiny little bit of glue in those ones, and we'll add our flower centers there. In fact, let me grab my tweezers. Where are we? Here we go. Grab my tweezers and I'll do the surgery this way. There we go. When I used to make paper flowers years ago, I would always have a pair of tweezers in one hand and a stylus in the other hand. That's just how we did it. There we go. Oh, they look really cute. That one's just got a little bit of excess glue in the center there. So because this one is, this one sort of has the little pinholes in it. So the glue does sort of ooze through the pinholes a little bit. So you could use a dry adhesive instead of liquid glue. But if you do get a little bit of sticky on the front, it does dry clear, so that's okay. But if they are a little bit sticky on the front and you're concerned about that, take your embossing buddy and just dab your embossing buddy on that. Give it a little rub around. That powder from the embossing buddy will stop that stickiness, and then just blow off that excess powder. Do that away from the camera. There we go. So now we don't have that sticky. Well, it is still a little bit sticky. I probably need to add a bit more, but you get the general idea. Okay, great. All right, so let's pop those little flowers aside there. Okay, here I was saying we're going to use the silicone craft sheet. I haven't used it yet. We'll pop these flowers over to the side. Oh, I might just give this one a little bit more shaping, because where I've been holding that, I've left a little indent. So I'll just go round and round around a bit more. There we go, just to take out that there we go. All right. Okay. So we've got those ones. Alrighty. Now the large petal flowers. Now these ones, I've seen these made a couple of different ways. Because we've got that slit there and we've got there's a little embossed line there. What we can do with these is we can do a little bit more shaping with these petals to just shape them up a little bit. So you can use them flat as they are, or you can shape them up. So you can use them like that. You can sort of line them up, yeah, in all different ways. But I'm going to do a little bit of shaping. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on one side, and then we're going to fold the other side in to meet it. And we're just going to hold that for a moment, and that causes the petal to sort of pop up a little bit. Okay. And this is where we might need the silicone craft glue. The silicone craft sheet is what I mean, because the glue, oh, I've got sticky fingers. Got the centers there sticking to my fingers. All right. So there we go. So we'll just set that aside to dry. So we'll do each of these. So a little bit of glue. Bring them over. You just need to overlap them a little bit just so that they, oh, actually, you know what I didn't do? I didn't shape them first. That would have been better to shape them a little bit first. So I'll shape these a little bit first. Forgot to do that. And then when you bring them over, that helps. Yeah. So we'll shape all of those first. This time I'm curling these ones up towards the side that has the ink on them. So turning them upside down to shape them on my bone folder. And I don't know how many of these I'm going to need to make this big flower. Amber said, oops, could you use, oh, you could use the blue, then the tiny yellow flower on top. Oh, actually, yes, that's a good idea. I do have another one of those tiny little flowers. That's a good idea. I'll put that over there. I'll stick it in there. I'll sit it in there so that I remember. Yeah, that would be pretty in there. Good thinking, Amber. I like the way you think. All right, so I'll come back into these ones and shape them. It is a bit more difficult to shape them once you've glued those together. So yeah, definitely shape them before you glue them together. All right, so we'll do a few more of these. So we've shaped them. We're just pinching in the little petals. Hold them for a moment till the glue takes hold. Pinch them. Hold them. This is where we need some stories. We need some storytelling. So is anybody who is watching a florist? Have you got any background in floristry? I know one of my my team members is a florist, and so whenever she's watching, we always, if we have any flower questions, or even in our team group, whenever we have any flower questions, we always ask her, because she usually knows which flowers are which. My mother and my mother-in-law and my grandmother, and probably my aunties. Not sure about my aunties, but yeah, definitely my mum, my mother-in-law, and my grandma were very good at flower arranging. Not that they were professional florists, but they were very, very good at floral arrangements. Yeah, I didn't kind of inherit that. So when I have floral arrangements in the home, which isn't very often, usually on special occasions like Mother's Day or birthday, Valentine's Day, things like that, my husband will buy me flowers. But yes, I'm not very good at arranging them. I don't like taking them out of the pretty paper and putting them in a vase, because I can never arrange them as beautifully as they look when they come to me. Hi Megan, how are you? Great to have you join us. We are playing today with the paper florist dies. Do you have these ones, Megan? We've been making all different sorts of flowers from scratch. It's the first time I've played with these today, because I only just received this in my order yesterday and opened my order late last night. So we are having a play. We've used nearly every single die today to die cut the different flowers. We've done some shaping, we've done some inking, all different sorts of things. There we go. Megan says, I'm good, thanks. I've been watching for a while as well as other things. Ah, good. You've had me playing in the background. Oh, thank you. So you have been seeing what I've been doing, or at least hearing what I'm doing. Let's move these ones over here. So we've got all these little petals now. Look at this. We're going to make beautiful flowers with this. And I have seen some people use some of these petals and then laid over some of these petals as well. There's all different sorts of things that you could do. I'm getting quite sticky here. I'm probably going to need to use my baby wipes again in a moment, but I'll finish doing all of these ones first. So you don't need to hold them for too long before that glue takes hold. It's only for a few seconds. There we go. I didn't make my cup of tea this morning because I quickly had to bolt down. Well, it's not even really my full breakfast, but I had a banana and I've got some juice here as well. So I've been having little sips of my juice. But yes, I didn't make my cup of tea yet today. I haven't had my cup of tea, but I have been, my children bought me some tea to New York breakfast tea, which is very nice. So I've been drinking that this week. I've been really enjoying that one. Megan said, no, I don't have this one. Too fiddly for you, but you like what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Megan. But you make beautiful projects. You do some fiddly work. You do beautiful 3D projects that I think are quite fiddly, actually. So, yeah. Different type of fiddly, perhaps. All right, I'm just going to clean my fingers off here a little bit, get some of this glue off before I put more glue on them again. I think my stylus might have been a little bit dirty, actually. I just realized the center of the yellow center on that flower there where I had that glue, it's gotten a little bit of something on it. It's probably from my stylus. Okay, so that is that one. All right, we'll let those dry for a moment. We'll move on to our to this one here. Now for this one, we are going to shape this little strip. We're going to shape it back this way. And this one is quite easy because we're just going to roll this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along here. I'll leave that glue out actually because I'll need to keep using that. And we're going to try and roll this really tightly. I might actually turn it this way and roll it towards myself this way. So we're going to roll, roll. Now I haven't made one of these this tiny before. The one that was in the kit, the Wreath of Blooms kit, was much larger than this, and it was a double one that you folded over. You shaped it first and then you folded it over and then rolled it. But this one is much tinier. So we'll see how this turns out. This is like a little bit like quilling. I feel like I need my old quilling tool out for this one. I do have a quilling tool somewhere, but I feel like that's what I need for this one. So we'll hold that there for a moment. I wonder if I should have shaped those out a little bit before I started rolling. Maybe. It's a bit hard to do it now. I've started rolling them, but that's okay. We'll keep going. We'll see what we end up with. So you can use these little ones too as flower centers or as flowers just on their own. I wanted to use it as a flower on its own, but we'll see. Oh, you don't want to use too much glue, I'm discovering, because as I'm rolling this, it's actually pushing that glue along and it's oozing quite a bit. There we go, we're getting there. Yeah, so I could, Amber. I've actually got a second strip there ready to go. I had thought about that, is adding an extra strip to make it a larger flower. But thank you, we are on the same wavelength. All right, so let's add, maybe I'll just add little dabs of glue rather than a long bead of glue. Oh, that's better. Yep, that's better. Just add little dabs along there like that. Rolly, rolly, rolly. Yep, I think I am going to add that extra strip actually. Just add one more little dab of glue. I'm just going to leave that end open. This is very much like quilling. Has anybody tried quilling before? We used to do quilling back in the day, probably about, oh goodness, about 15, 20 years ago. We used to do a lot of quilling. Amber actually really loved quilling. She's still got a lot of her quilling papers. Not that she's done any quilling for a long time. Amber, you need to get your quilling out and have a go with that again. It's been years since you've done quilling. Yeah, she used to make beautiful projects with her quilling. She's got all the tools and everything. All right, so now I'm going to add in, oh wait, which way do I want to do it? I'm going to add this way. I want to add an extra strip. So lining those up. I'm going to add an extra strip to make it even longer. So add that strip there. Should probably be easy if I did it down flat on the, just move some of these petals out of the way. I'll do it down here. Add that strip there. Like that. Try to line up my little petals of my flower. And I think I didn't add enough glue. No, it's coming back off. Okay. We'll add some glue all along here. There we go. So if you wanted just to use it as a flower center, you pull out these little petals, which we'll do at the end, and you could use that as a flower center, but I want to use it as a flower on its own. So I might need it a little bit larger. Where's my tweezers? Let's use the tweezers. There we go. So that's lined up. I'll just try and get that glue to take hold. Oops, keep sliding. That's the thing with the, that's what we want, is we want to use the multi-purpose liquid glue to give us that wiggle time. But sometimes we want things to stay put too. There we go. So we'll just wrap that around and we will continue. Oh, you were just trying to remember what it was called. Yeah. Much easier with the tool. It would be much easier with the quilling tool. Yes. In fact, I might try and hunt down my old quilling tool and pull it out and actually keep it with these dies for this little one. So it would be heaps easier. So roll, roll, roll. I feel like I need to make a song out of that. Now I haven't made one of these before, so I'm not sure how the double flower is going to look. It's going to be quite big, but it might be a little bit bulky. We'll see. Need be, we can go back, quickly cut just a single one and yeah, just make a single one. All right, last little bit. Okay, we'll just hold that there for a moment. Got some extra glue there. Okie dokie. Sticky, sticky. So that's what it looks like from the top. Just holding that glue there. Yeah, that's what it looks like from the top. I did get it fairly tight. That's what it looks like from the bottom. So I did get it fairly tight even without the quilling tool. So you can see that there. Hold that up a little bit closer for you. So that's the bottom. That's the top. And then I'll keep holding that for a moment. Then what we're going to do is we're going to tease out all of these little petals. And I'm just doing that with my fingers. See how it's now forming a flower? Isn't that cool? Oh yes, I do like the double flower, the double strip. Just easing those petals out with my fingers. See, I didn't actually even need a special tool. Just did that all by hand. Oh, that looks awesome. That's actually turned out really well. That's turned out better than I thought it was going to. Look at that. How cool is that? You can continue pulling those petals down. And now it's almost looking like a little dandelion. That is adorable. I love that. There we go. How cute is that? Cute little flower. Isn't that beautiful? So they are a little bit fiddly. They do take a little bit of time, but I think it's really worth it. That turned out really well. That's another good job for sitting down in front of the TV and just cutting and gluing and rolling a whole heap of those. There we go. Look at that. How cute is that? And that would look really cute as the center of a flower as well. Maybe for this bigger one it would. Yeah, there you go. Just reminded you of Dandelion's handmade for the picture book you once made. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, I think because back in the day, didn't we have fringing scissors or something that you actually used instead of having a die that does this? You had like fringing scissors and you would cut the strips of cardstock and then cut them with the fringing scissors and then roll them. Kind of gives you that same look. I should have had my glasses on to read that because now my eyes are a little bit blurry. That close-up work. Oh, a couple of those would be really cute on a project. A die is much easier than hand snipping all of those little bits. Yes, I agree. Yes. Yeah. So there you go. So that's how that die works. That was this one here. That was this little fringing one here. How cool is that? Now there is another one of those fringing dies in a different die set too. Is it in the birthday one? I wonder if it would do the same thing. I'm not sure if it cuts right. It would if you moved it so that it cut right to the edge, and it's a larger one, I believe. So it would cut a larger fringing. So you could do larger flowers with that. Let's have a look in the catalogue. Pretty sure it's in the Bright and Beautiful suite. Page 14 to 15. Let's just have a look and see if it's the same sort of die. Okay, so it's this one here, page 155. Just want to have a look and see if it would do the same thing. I don't have that die set, but I'm trying not to put this down on my flowers. I don't want to squash them. Here. Yes, I believe that that would do the same thing. It's got a longer fringing and less of the base on it. But yeah, I reckon you could do the same thing with that die. And then you just need to trim off your cardstock. In fact, if you die cut that at the edge of your piece of cardstock, you could then determine the width of that base piece to create your flowers. So there you go. If you've got that die set, the beautiful balloons, yeah, you could give that a go and see if you could achieve the same sort of flower, but it will probably make a bigger one with longer petals. So there you go. There's a little tip for you. Oh, I just lost my catalogue. Hang on. It fell on the floor. All right. Let's get back to this large flower now, and then we can start putting everything together. Now, I haven't put one of these together before. I have seen some people put these together, but in different ways. And I'm just going to have a little play before I try to do that, just to see. I want to try and get a 5 petal. I may have even shaped them a little bit harshly because they're going to really sit up quite a bit. 4, 5. If I could tease them down a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to give that a go and see. I have curled them. Actually, you know what? I might, if I curl these back again. Oh, that folded. Okay, I did that one a bit too hard. That one folded. Let's not use that one. As I said, this is my first time. So if I don't get it right this time, please forgive me. Bear with me. There we go. So if I do it like that, I just am trying not to get, oh, okay, I've wrecked that one. Trying to fold them back. Some of these I may have folded over, where I folded over the bottoms, I may have folded them over just a little bit too much. But let's see, if I break down the fibers enough in the petals. I might get rid of those creases. That one's a little bit too creasy. Amber said, I remember with old similar punch flowers, we stuck the petals onto a smaller punched circle. Ah, good thinking. We did too. Yes, we did. So rather than sticking them together, we could use one of these circles. Yeah, good remembering, Amber. I had totally forgotten about that. And then adhere them to a circle. It's been years since I've done, as you can tell, it's been years since I have created handmade flowers. Yeah, that might be better, is to stick them. Okay, so maybe I need to die cut another one of those circles. Is that the largest one? I think it is. I think that's the larger one. Or we could we use this one and die cut that in petal pink and use that, and then we could space them out a bit more because that one's bigger, and then we could put the center in there on top. That could work. All right. Oh, no worries, Megan. Yeah, definitely come back, check the replay, and yeah, and have a look at the finished product later once I've finished. All right, let's bring back in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, our little mini here, and we'll die cut some petal pink bases, some little bases for our flowers here. Okay, let me grab, oh, where did I put all the petal pink? There it is. It's my petal pink scraps, and we'll die cut a few of those different circle centers. Go this way. All right, let's see. So we've got these two. We'll try those two. And then we've also got these two. So we'll try both of those. This one's probably going to be too small, but we'll give it a go. We'll do all of them. We may as well, because we're die cutting, so we may as well die cut many. Okay. Amber said, I remember we used that technique for frangipanis. Ah, we may have too. I had totally forgotten about that. Thank you, Amber. All right. So we'll use the same color as the petals. So then that way, if we don't cover up the base completely, it won't matter. But then we can add our centers to them as well. So let's just put all of these dies back on here so we don't lose all those little tiny dies. Whoever designed these dies is very clever. Okay, so we'll try with all these little centers here. Okay, so let's see now. Okay, so we've got that one and that one and that one. That one I think I may have, yeah, so I'm trying to just shape these a little bit back the other way, but you kind of want, because I've got them pulled in so tightly here, you kind of want to do it gently because I don't want to get too many creases in the petal, except if you decide to scrunch the cardstock. That's another idea to get a sort of scrunched petal. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to look. We'll see. All right, so we've got our circle there. Yeah, I think I've pulled them in too tightly. I think that's what the problem is. That's okay, they can be a sitting up one. All right, so I'm going to add glue. I don't remember how I did this before, but I'm going to add glue onto that circle, and then I'm going to add the petals around that. I'll attach them to there, and I'll just add glue to that petal so that this one can overlap a little bit. And we'll try and get 5 petals on here. Add a little bit more glue. Not that one. That one here. A little bit of glue just on the base of that petal. And a little bit more glue. And the 5th petal. Okay, and then we'll just, while that glue's still wet, we'll just move those around a little bit. Space them out a bit like that. Oops, okay, we need some more glue for this one. Glue, 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 glue. And add that one there on top. All right, so yeah, that's looking better. That's looking better. I still think I've got them pulled in a little bit too tightly because they are, it's quite a closed, but I've got an idea. It's quite a closed flower. What you could do if you wanted a larger flower is you could have some more of these that are not as closed, like not as folded over, and put them at the back. But we could even add extra petals at the back. We can add our center in the base there, and then these ones could be added around. Now I don't know if I'm going to have enough around the outside to make it a larger flower. Like that. Oh, yeah, that might not be too bad. Now, the thing is with this card is it's going to be quite dimensionalized. So it's probably going to be one that you would want to create a box for, or one that you want to hand deliver. Because I think this one is going to be bigger than I first expected. All right, let's add these extra petals. I'll get that to stick there. We'll just add an extra row of petals, just staggering between each of the 2 petals. Okay, so it's that one. Put a bit of glue on the base of that one. And so you're all learning here from my mistakes, or my experimentations, I should say. Never any mistakes in card making, just experimentation and creativity. So there we go. Definitely a very closed flower. This would be a really great flower for a 3D project, actually. So I'm adhering these petals onto the bottom. So the first row of petals went on top of the circle. This row of petals is adhering to the bottom of that circle. It's not helping that my fingers are so sticky. Okay, we've got one more to go. So that's going between those 2. Oops, just hold that there for a moment longer. I wanted to jump back off again. Okay, and last one. Oh, we've just got enough because the other ones are the ones that I wrecked. There we go. So we've got a double layer of petals there. Once that's all dry, I wonder if we'd be able to shape them back the other way. We'll see how we go. All right, and then we've got this little center here. I was going to pop in there. We've got this extra center here, which I was going to pop in the middle. I don't know if we need that extra one though. I liked Amber's idea of adding the little yellow flower in the very center of that. What do we think? Definitely want this one. So let's add the blue in the middle. So a bit of glue there. We're going to add that. The blue center. There we go. I was going to add the brads. I was going to colour some of those brads with my Stampin' Right markers, which I have right here. And I was actually going to add a yellow brad in the middle of this one, but now I'm wondering if I don't. I'm wondering if I just use the little yellow center, little flower center in that one instead. And in fact, in this one, I should have maybe done the blue brad, the blue center, but that's okay. Yeah, what do you think? We could do that, or we could add the brads. So with the brads, we've got black and white brads, and they come in large squares. So that's the squares. And then you have the tiny little round centers, which I'll just pull out. I did colour a couple to test yesterday, so I'll pull those out of here. You've got the little round centers, the small round brads. I wish we had large round brads, but we've only got large square ones, which don't really go with the flowers. Well, there are some round black ones in here too. Just trying to find one. They're so tiny. They're hard to find. Anyway, you get the idea. But I was going to colour these ones, but in fact, they're actually really tiny compared to the size of those flower centres. So you can colour these with your Stampin' Right markers. I tested some yesterday. So here are some I prepared earlier. I did a square one in dark Night of Navy, and I did a yellow one in dark Daffodil Delight. So that's over a white brad, and so that's the colours that you can achieve. But because the Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers, they do dry on non-porous surfaces, and so that colour doesn't rub off. And that's what I was thinking about doing with these little centers. But now that I see these little flower centers that come with the dies, I actually prefer them. I think they're a better size. I think these ones are too tiny for the size of the center. They might be all right for the little tiny flower. In fact, we could put one in the little tiny flower just to see. Let's color one. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Okay, I'll take, is this my dark? Yeah, this is my dark daffodil. So we'll just color the top of that. Give that a couple of good coats. Probably very hard to see on camera because it's so tiny. Okay, so now we've got a yellow top brad. Give that a moment to dry. I'll just give it a little blow. And set that down there for a minute. Let's put my little flower over there. It's actually upside down. There we go. I'll just change the tip of my Take Your Pick tool to my Pokey Pokey tool, or my paper piercing tool. And if we pierce a hole in the center there, I'm going to go through 3 layers of cardstock. Oh, I'm actually doing it in my, don't want to do it in my mat. I want to do it in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, so I'll get that to go right the way through. Good. And then we'll pop our brad through. Now the thing with these brads is they have very long tails on them, very long ends on them. So what you can do is you can cut them off. They're quite soft, which is why I had these old Teflon scissors out that you saw me using earlier. These are quite a strong scissors. I wouldn't use a really good pair of scissors, like your good ribbon cutting scissors or cardstock cutting scissors. Use an old pair that are perhaps a little bit blunt, or you can use, if you've got any wire tools. I used to do a little bit of wire work as well in my card making. So I've actually got wire tools. These are just like little pliers, not pliers, they're like a cutting tool, and you can snip the ends off with those as well. I actually find it easier with these old scissors, just to make that a little bit shorter, because it depends on, just watch your eyes when you do this, because they will flick. Oh, do I do them one at a time? That's right. Not both at once, one at a time. There's one. Two. Yeah, so that's why you don't want to use a good pair of scissors, because you will blunten them. Okay, so just do them individually. Push those pins back together, and then you can put them through your flower. And then you can open them up at the back. Now, if I had have left that brad as long as it was, it probably would have been okay on this flower, but some of the smaller, like the punched flowers, the ends would be way too long. And there that is with the little brad in the center, but I do have that little flower on there as well. Okay, so you can just add that as well if you wanted to, or you can add it in place of that little tiny yellow flower. So there you go. But yeah, for this one, I think it's going to be too big. But I do like the little yellow flower in the middle. I'm just going to swap those tips back over to my shaping tool, because that's what we've been using. There we go. I do like this little yellow center, so I think I'll add that as well. So let's just add a tiny dab of glue in the center there. We don't want too much, because this is just a very tiny little flower. Move that over a tad. Move that over a little bit more. Come on. Move over. There we go. In the center. Like so. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, see if I can encourage these petals to sit down just a little bit more without bending them. We don't want to bend them now that I've created that flower. These ones, of course, on the bottom, they will, oh, that one's only just holding on. I better add a bit more glue to that one. That one's not adhered properly. Just fix that one up there. Let's give that a little pinch. So yeah, so there's a few different ideas to colour your brads. Use your centres. You could use any of these centres to attach your petals. The larger ones will be better for the larger flower. There we go. Shape them. Might be able to shape these a little bit now. Let's see if we can just shape them out a little bit more. Wow, I really haven't put enough glue on some of these. I'll just add a little bit more in there. I can feel that they are coming off. While I'm holding that, I'll give it a little shape. Amber said it's very cute. The tiny yellow center almost looks like the little brad. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Only it's a little bit bigger than the brad, which I think is good for this size flower. just give these a gentle little curl back. Oh, finger sticking to the glue under here. All right, and we need to start getting this project put together because we've been going for a very long time. I'm trying not to dint those flowers, but I really have made them a little bit too tight. That's okay. As I said, great for a 3D project. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's just clean my glue. And there we've got all of our flowers. So I think I spent probably the most time on that biggest one. I'll keep all of these little centers because we'll use them for some other projects later. Not today, another day. We'll keep all of those over to the side. Okay. Another thing I had seen is with these flowers that these ones had been put in the center of them as well. So if you wanted to have a multi-layered flower, you could add those in the center as well, probably in the same color, but I mean you could do them in a darker color, I suppose. But yeah, you can layer them all together. There's so many different ways that you can put together these flowers. All right, so now we've got all the flowers made, and let's move our shaping, all our shaping things and our Stampin' Blends out of the way. We need to create the wreath. So what I thought that I might use, because I've got, this is a very large circle, so I want kind of a large wreath. I was thinking about using the large circle here, but then I remembered that in the Irresistible Blooms dies, there is that large circly bit there. Now that is actually going to cut out of, whoops, I think that actually cuts out of the cardstock. Oh, all my dies are falling off there. See, these ones aren't on magnetic sheets, so they do tend to fall off. Yeah, so that will cut the circle out of the actual card front rather than cutting an actual wreath. So I thought there was two different ways that we could do it. Stick these back on here so I don't lose them. There we go. Yeah, so I was thinking of the two different ways. Now for the wreath part, I was thinking about going with crumb cake. So this is a card front size. And if we were to die cut this, we could create a wreath looking shape. This is where my mind was going. I hadn't fully decided yet. We could create a wreath shape on there and then add the flowers around it. However, if we use the other dies, we could actually cut out the circle, but I just don't know if it's going to be big enough. This one. Just not sure these will be big enough. So we could actually create a wreath by cutting this one and this one together and then creating a wreath and putting the flowers. Oh, it might work. So yeah, I'm not sure which idea to try. I might just die cut this one first and we'll see how that looks, because I'll take this over to the large die cutting machine and I'll quickly do that. So bear with me for one moment. Look at my pretty flowers I made while I just quickly go over and do this on the large machine. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, when this one die cuts, it actually die cuts out of the front of the card. Now that's really beautiful. I love that. Not sure if it's going to work with what I had in mind, so we'll see. We really are just playing today with ideas. I mean, I do want to create the card, of course, but we're just playing around with different ideas to try and achieve what I had in my mind. So let's just see. So this flower, being that it's quite large, would need to go down there. And then we might need a couple of these coming up here and down here. I just noticed that these leaves actually curve in one direction, but if you flip them over, they look like they're the wrong way up. So yeah, that's just one thing to be mindful of when you're using these ones on your project. So something like that. And then this one got the sticky glue on the front. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my glue eraser, see if I can get that off there, because it's picked up those dirty marks on that sticky glue that came through from my stylus. There we go, that's better. And then that one down there, like that. Now that one I think needs the blue center because the original one had the blue center. So if we find that white, one of those little white brads again, I'll color that blue, and I think we will put that in the center of that one. Let's give that a couple of coats, including around the edges. There we go. Now we've got a blue brad. Cute. Okay, we'll let that dry for a moment. We'll get our piercing mat. Pierce that one in the center. Let's change our tools. So these just, I love how easy these are just to interlock. We'll pierce our hole through the center. That's a larger flower, so I don't think I need to worry about cutting the ends off this one. And that has dried already. That's how quickly they dry. Let's put that through the center. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. Open up the little tails of our brad. There we go. Now we've got our little blue center. And that one can go there. Then we've got our little tulips that can go here like this, and our other green leaves. Yes, I think this is going to work, this one, actually, better than I expected it would. Like that. And this one can have an extra leaf like this. And then we've got this little flower. This little one that we made, this cute one. I think that's my favorite. Can go down here. Yes, I think that is going to be beautiful. What do you think? Here's an idea. You said you could use the fringing in the beautiful balloons dies to make flowers, but you can also use the balloons we use. Oh yeah, you can also use the balloons to make flowers. We used to use punched balloons to make flowers. Fantastic idea, Amber. Yes, yes, that is a great idea. But what do you think? It's looking really good. I'm very happy with how that's looking. Actually, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's turning out a lot better than I thought it would, in fact. So there you go. All right, so I think we're going to go with that. I think I'll put away these other dies, but you could, if you wanted an actual wreath, you could die cut these two together and send them through the die cutting machine, and then you would have a full circular wreath, but it would be smaller. I think with the size of this big flower, this size is good. So they were my two ideas. So we'll put these ones back away. And I think we will go with the one that we have. Okay, now the question is, what color base am I going to put this on? So I haven't glued any of that yet. Am I just going to put that onto a white card base so that we have the white showing behind there? Good question. Oh, vanilla. Vanilla perhaps. Let's grab some. Okay, I've got a large piece there. I've got some card front sizes already. What do you think? How does that look? Do you think the vanilla looks good, or should we try white? I don't have any card front sizes of white cut, but I think the vanilla goes really well with the crumb cake. Or we could just have white in the background. What do you think? I think I like the vanilla. I think the vanilla looks good rather than the white. The white is very stark, isn't it? It's very pretty. You like it with the vanilla in the background down, but yeah, I think I like the vanilla much better than the white actually. I think I like that. So let's cut a card base of white. Of vanilla, sorry. What I might do, because we've got so much weight on the front of this card, I might actually use the thick Very Vanilla for the card base. Did you know that our vanilla comes in thick and ordinary, standard? Just like our white does. All right, so let's move that over. So I know this has been a really long live, but I appreciate you all so much for sticking with me. All those of you who are watching the replay, and even if you have skipped ahead and fast forwarded the bits that you didn't need to see, that's okay too. I just appreciate you coming along. If you haven't yet already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you do that as well so that you always catch my videos and you never miss anything. Be sure to click on the bell notification as well so you can then choose how you would like to be notified when I upload new videos. Okay, so we've got a very, very vanilla thick card base. I'll just move these ones out of the way. Alrighty. Now, before I adhere those flowers, we're going to need a sentiment as well. But you know what I'm going to do? I think I am going to do all of this first, and then we'll work the sentiment out later, because the sentiment can be added on a strip. We can just put a small sentiment along the bottom here and add it as a strip. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is adhere my large. I think I want to adhere, although I'm going to need to slip those in, aren't I? I think they'll slip in okay there. I think I'm going to attach my large flower first. I have got this piece of crumb cake. Sorry, I went blank there. Cut at a full card front size. So it's 10.5 centimeters by 14.85. Yes, let's do that. I'll adhere that first to the card front, and then we'll add all the other pieces. So lots of glue. Make sure that that's going to stay put, because we're putting a lot of detail on the top of this and a lot of weight. So we want to make sure that that is, might even put some little glue dots on these little circle parts of the wreath as well, so that they sit down and they don't wobble around too much, because we are putting a lot of detail on this card. Okay, there we go. So we're going to line that up with the card front. make sure I've got that nicely lined up. I'll stand it up, give it a little tap that way, stand it on the other side, give it a tap that way, make sure it's all lined up. Oh, my tummy is grumbling, it's hungry. Okay, and then we'll give that a nice firm press down. Make sure all of those pieces are sitting down as they should. Beautiful. Okay, let's start with our large flower. That's sticky on my desk. No. Let's start with our large flower. So I'll put lots of glue there on the large flower and making sure that it's staying within the sides of the card. However, as I said, because this card is so 3D, it is going to need a box. It's not going to fit in an envelope. It's definitely going to need to be in a box. Oops. There we go. And then this one's going to go beside that one. So do we pop that one up on dimensionals is the question. I think I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. I'll just take one dimensional on the back there. Hopefully that will, I think that's sticking okay over the top of the brad. I'm going to pop that one in there like that. Our little yellow flower is just going to be glued as it is. So lots and lots of glue on the base of that one. And that one's just going to sit in there like that. I love that little yellow one, that little dandelion looking one. It's so adorable. I want to make some more of those. And I want to play more with this big one too and master that a bit better. But we'll get there. All right, we'll pop our little tulips in. A bit of glue on the stem there of those ones. Oh my goodness, my tummy is really not happy now. It's like, feed me. I'm starving. Okay, so pop that one in there. I might have that coming over this way a little bit. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. I'll use my take a pick tool just to get in there to press that down like so. There we go. They're very delicate there, aren't they? In fact, you know what I should have done? I still could slip in a little, actually, is that stuck yet? Oh, it's not stuck yet. I might put some dimensionals in behind those tulips. So I'll get my minis out and we'll add some dimensionals behind those because I think that would pop them up really beautifully and make them just stand out a little bit better. So they are going to get a little bit lost on that background. And the minis fit just perfectly in those little tulips. Beautiful. Okay, whoops, uh-oh, don't stick to the desk. There we go. Oh, Amber said it's a shame there's no longer the acetate card boxes. That would have been perfect. Yeah, oh, they would have. They would have been perfect. I wonder with the window sheets, could we design one and make one ourselves? I wonder if you'd be able to make one, those card boxes, if you'd be able to make them out of the acetate, the window sheets, sorry. Getting my little tulip sticking to my fingers here. There we go. All right, so I'll just stick that down in there. Make sure that's adhering down in there. Beautiful. Oh, that's looking so cute. All right, let's get these leaves in. Now, with the leaves, I'm just going to add some glue on the stems, but I'm not going to go all the way to the top because I'm going to slip the next one in behind that one. Okay, so we'll get that one right in down there at the bottom. Oh, I want to make sure it doesn't go in off the, sorry, off the edge of the card there. So we've got that one up there, and then I'm going to add another one. Actually, do I? Maybe that one should have been down a bit lower. Is it stuck yet? Oh, it's not stuck yet. Let's see if I can get that one down a little bit lower. There, like that. And then we'll tuck this one in behind it. Oh, my tummy's telling me it's really not happy. It's starving. It's like, feed me. Okay, then we'll tuck this one in here. Come on, in you go. In there. That's sort of going up there like that. It's not kind of at the angle that I wanted it. It's even possibly a little bit long. You know what I might do? I'll just see if I can get that out from under there. I'm going to snip some of this one. Let's just use those same scissors I've been using all day. These aren't my good paper snip scissors. But they're just the ones that are on my desk today. Silicone craft sheet, where are you? Let's just stick that over there. Okay, so I've just cut that one a little bit shorter. There, that'll be better. Just to add, it just looked a little bit long. It looked a bit unbalanced. So we'll just add that one in there. Just hide that little tail in behind that other one. There we go. All right, we'll add some of these in there too. We want 2 of these little leaves in there. So put one over here. Like so. Sorry, getting my head in camera there probably. Pull that out a little bit so we can see it. We'll add another one. I think the pop of the granny apple green is really nice too. Nice bright colours to match with those other, whoops, nice bright colours. Okay, those to stick in there. We'll add our greenery on the other side now as well. And with this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim off, oh look, I really want my other scissors. Where are they? I really want my paper snips. I like my paper snips. Here we go. I'm going to trim off the stem of that one so that I can get that tucked right in behind there. And that tucked in behind there. Like that. And then we'll trim off this stem. Oh, actually, let's check the length. We might need to do what we did with the other one and chop off some of those leaves because it's probably going to be too long. Yeah, we'll just chop off those bottom leaves there. There we go. That's a good thing with these flowers is you can, and the leaves, you can just chop them down, you know, to the size that you need. Yep, that'll be better. Add that in there. Like so. There we go. Good. Now we could have shaped those ones up if we wanted to as well, but I wasn't sure how they were going to sit, so I didn't shape them. Decided just to leave them as they were. And then this one we're going to have a leaf up here. And we'll have another leaf coming in under there. So this is one of those very special projects that you want to give to a very special person who is going to appreciate all of the work that you put into this project. There we go. All right, is that all of the elements? Now we need a sentiment and some bling, and we don't have any ribbon. Oh my goodness, Mandy created a card without a ribbon. Okay, let's grab some bling and a sentiment. I don't have a stamp set out for a sentiment, but I'm thinking of a thin, a very narrow little strip sentiment here, or you could put one up here too, I guess, but I kind of don't want to cover up the wreath area. I think I'd like to have it down here. That's turned out really cute. All right, let's grab a sentiment. And we've got some bling. Let's see. I have somewhere here. Not that one. I have here somewhere a really nice thinking of you sentiment, and I'm just trying to find it. No, it's not that one because I want a narrower. Amber, do you know where that stamp set is that has the 3 different fonts with the thinking of you, happy birthday, and I can't remember what the other one is. Don't have it. Hang on a sec. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, this one. Found it. Found it. The go-to greetings. Go-to greetings. I should have known that and I should have gone to them. All right, and we've got our embellishments as well. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking I don't want to add a whole heap of extra color. So I think we're going to go with some plain embellishments. Either pearls? No, I'm thinking rhinestones. I'm thinking the rhinestones will look really nice with the colors that we've got there. So just think the pearls, they throw too many other colors. And the iridescent rhinestones, maybe iridescent rhinestones. They've kind of got those tones in them too. All right. We'll choose between those two. We're having an epic live today. Very epic. Okay, so thinking of you, we want a long sentiment. So let's see what size will fit. You know what? We could even stamp it directly on the cardstock, but it's probably risky to do that at this point. So I probably do want to have it on a strip. Thinking of you, I've got the medium size one and then there's the small one as well. Let's get both of those out. Okay. So that's the large one and the small one. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe this, I think maybe the small one would be good. And we want to put that on a strip of vanilla. Very vanilla. And then I think we're going to punch the end of that with we probably have a label die that would fit that stamp, but I don't want to take up the time to go and find it. So I think we'll just use the Banners Pick a Punch. So if I cut that at, is it going to fit on a 1/2 inch? Oh yeah, that would fit on a 1/2 inch. I'll cut this at 1/2 inch. Let's bring in my trimmer. So 1/2 inch or 1.25 centimeters. Okay, I think that will fit on there. Let's see. And we'll use the flag end. So I'm just going to cut one end first. So line that up in the center, cut that first, and then we'll stamp our sentiment. Oh, where did that go? I'm going to use that little end piece to measure where I want the other end of that to go. So, yep, okay, we'll do that. We will do that. Now to stamp our sentiment, because we've got all of those neutral, we've got that neutral tone background, we might stamp that in crumb cake. Should we stamp it in crumb cake or should we stamp it in one of the other colors? Maybe Calypso Coral would be good. Calypso Coral might be good on there. Yeah, because we've got Calypso and Calypso. Let's use that. And then we're not adding an extra color in there too. Okay, so we'll ink that up. We're going to line that up. Now I might get my head in camera while I try to do this because it's hard to line it up when you've got a camera overhead. See how we go. Oh, a bit off. Let's see how is that going to look. Oh, that'll look lovely. Yeah. All right, we'll just do another one of those because I'm not happy. I'll just stamp that a little bit crooked. Do another. Oops. Now every piece of cardstock has two sides, of course, so you could flip it over and stamp it on the other side if you like. I find with the Calypso it's quite a dark color, so it does come through, you can sort of see it through a little bit, so I just prefer to re-punch. So we'll just do that again. I mean, not re-punch, well, we are re-punching too. Re-stamp. Just might bring in my grid paper to help me line that up. There we go. And Calypso. Oh, Amber said the little Just a Note would be cute as well. Oh, that's a good idea. Just a Note. That would be good actually. Because that's really little. Yeah, let's try that one. That would be nice. I'll grab a block for that one. Okay, let's bring back in our Calypso Coral. I'm just going to bring this down close to me so that I can see to line that up. Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, nice. Okay. Quickly clean those stamps off on my chamois so that that ink doesn't stain those stamps. I think the Thinking of You and the Just a Note stamps are good. They're great sentiments because you can use them for a variety of different purposes. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have that coming in from the edge. So let's see, we'll have it about there. I'll just put a little pencil mark here and I'll just trim that off on my trimmer. There we go. And we'll take that sponge dauber that we had before with the Calypso Coral and we'll just run a little bit of ink around the edges just to give a nice little border to our sentiment label. And we've done inking on those flowers too, so that helps to tie it in a little bit. Yeah, oh, that's cute. Look at that. All right. I'll put some there on the end. I might put some there on the end too. Okay, and we'll pop that up on some dimensionals. So I'll grab some minis because this is only quite narrow. Wow, I have got so much going on my desk here. It is looking a little crazy. Oh, in fact, you know what? The standard size dimensionals might actually fit. Oh, they do. They fit on the back of that 1/2 inch strip. So there we go. Pop that down here. Line that up with the edge there. Make sure we get that nice and straight. There we go. And we'll add some bling. I don't think we need ribbon on this card. I think it's very busy as it is. So I don't think it needs ribbon. If you wanted to add a little bow, you could perhaps add a little twine bow. Oh, I did want to incorporate the twine. Actually, I did. Hang on a sec. Because on the original wreath, we do have that very vanilla twine. Oh, do I have another? This looks like a brand new packet. Yep, I have a packet already opened, so we'll use that up first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bow of twine. On the original large wreath, of course, we had the twine wrapped around the top. We can't do that with this one, of course, so we'll just incorporate it with just a sweet little bow. So we'll just quickly tie a little bow. And we can just add that. Can just add that here somewhere. Where are we going to add it? That's the question. Let's try and get those little tails to sit neatly. Actually, I could have attached it. I could have put a bit of twine behind the sentiment if I had have thought about it, but I didn't think about it soon enough. So I just want to add this little bow in here somewhere, but I don't know where. It's definitely got long tails. It needs to have them snipped. Oops. Has anybody got any suggestions where the bow could go? Let me know. It's probably still a little bit long. Oh, hang on a minute. What about if we put the bow at the top? Oh, you kind of lose it up there. I don't know. What do you think? Where do you think the bow should go? Can make those bows a little bit bigger. Should make a bigger bow and stick it up the top. I could put it there. There. I could just pop it over here. Just stick it somewhere. I want it somewhere. I want to incorporate that that ribbon. I don't know. What do you think? Double bow coming from under the bottom of the large flower. Right under here, a double bow. Okay. This size or a bigger one? Would I need a bigger one, do you think? Let's see. Oops. No, don't have enough length there. Let's try that again. I'll double my twine over first. I don't want to cut it if I end up not doing that. So I'll just tie it like this to get that double bow, and then we'll see. Pretend that's the ends of the double bow. Although I don't have the ends long enough. If that were coming out from under there like that. Is that what you meant? Like that? I don't know. I think you kind of lose it. Might need to have them bigger. Bigger, bigger, bigger. I need to be a big bow. So let's see. This is probably the longest play I've had on a project where I've not been designing for a class. For a while, for quite a while. Not ever, but for quite a while. It's nice just to have a play, and then people can just fast forward the bits that they don't want to, like that. Sort of like that. Yeah. If you wrap it around the card front near the spine and tie a bow. Wrap it around the card front near the spine and tie a bow. Oh, down there. Okay, so that would be the first look if I just trimmed those tails off, which doesn't look too bad actually now that I've got that big double bow. I could do that, or could tie it around here. Oh yeah, and tie a bow up the top there. I could do that too. Hang on, let's go this way. I'm going all the way around back to front, upside down. I think I've got my twine on the wrong side of me. That's why. Could tie it here. I mean, I'd have to fix it, but yeah, that would be the general gist. The general gist of it, like that, and have the bow up there at the top. I could do that too. Pop that under there, under the little leaf. I could do that. Yeah. Which way do you think looks best? Yeah, so I could do it that way as well and have the twine there like that. Which way do you think looks best? That way, or having the double bow underneath the large flower? You could even slip that in under there, under those leaves. I like that too, actually, if I tied that bow properly. Yeah. Yeah, I actually like that. I think we might go with that option. That was a good idea. There we go. I'm just going to fix that bow though, because it's not sitting right. I'd kind of tied it back to front because I was tying it from upside down. Upside down and back to front. We'll see if we can get a better bow. Oh, probably not. Okay, I can fiddle with that later anyway. We'll get the general gist of it. Okay. So it'll be something like that. But we will, yeah, I'll fix that up afterwards. We'll worry about that bit later. It'll be something like that. Just to have that bow on there. Just want to get that twine on there to replicate, you know, the original wreath. Something like that. And I will separate the ends of that, of course, too. All right, I'll fiddle with that bit later. We'll get the bling on, and then I will let you all go. So I'm thinking this bling. And I've got some smaller ones in this packet, so we'll open up the new packet and get some smaller ones. So this is the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. So I think we're going to need some large and some small ones of these. Put one up there and, oops, a small one there with it perhaps, or maybe following the circle that way would be good. And we'll pop a couple down here. Oh, we do have medium size as well. So there's a small, medium, and large sizes. There we go. So we've got 2 up there, 2 down here, and we've got 1 large one in there as well. There we go. So we'll leave it there like that. I will finish fiddling with that bow in a little bit when I finish filming, and I'll get that bow sitting nicely. I always like to separate the tails or the ends of my twine to just add a little bit of extra texture and a bit more interest rather than having those blunt ends. And yeah, I'll probably fiddle with that a little bit more to get that sitting how I want it. But yeah, kind of be something like that. Might even need to trim those up a little bit. They might be a little bit long. But there you go. So that is the card finished. There's the original wreath from the kit. That's my take on it in card form. So there you have the 2 projects. All right, and all the mess that comes along with it. so much mess on the desk. So there you go. So that was a long live, but if you had all of those pieces die cut and prepped ahead of time, so if you had a session where you just sat down and just die cut all of those pieces, then when you go to put together your flowers and put together your projects, it would be so much quicker. It's just that I did the whole process from go to woe in the live today. But yeah, making the flowers is sort of the most time consuming part. So just have a flower making session for a few hours one day or something and sit there, and yeah, and then you'll be good to go. So there you go. So that's my little take on the wreath in card form using the beautiful flower. Oh, let me get the name right now. Florist looms. I've buried them. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Oh, they got buried under everything else. The paper florist dies. The paper florist dies. There they are there. And so that's the card that we created with those today. So there you go. So I hope that you learnt something new and learnt by some of my little boo-boos there with the flowers. Don't fold those petals over too far unless you're doing a 3D project and you really want them to pop. I mean, it is a beautiful card, but it has a lot of dimension. So if you wanted your flowers to sit more flat to go in an envelope, then you wouldn't probably fold your petals over like that. You'd probably leave them just as they are, flat. But if you are happy to make a box or even put this in a gift bag with a little bit of tissue paper in the bottom or something, then that would be beautiful, and that will look really lovely sitting up on somebody's mantle or buffet or something like that. But yeah, you can see all of the dimension there. So there you go. So thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate your support. Thank you for those of you watching the replay. And yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed this project. So until next time, as I always say, happy crafting. Bye-bye.